Hello and welcome to this training. In this video, we are going to be looking at how to know your audience and also to attract your target audience. So let me start with this brief personal story that shares the difference between your audience and your target audience. So I have two WhatsApp accounts, and in one of them I get close to 200 views, while in the other, the highest view I do get is around 40 to 50, though in recent days it has increased to 60, 70 views. So some time ago, I launched an ebook titled Social Media Sense, and I shared the link on both WhatsApp status. But guess what? The result was totally shocking. There were 0 downloads in my status with close to 200 views. While I was having between 40 to 50 views, over 30 persons downloaded this ebook. Though for now, I think I'm having about 70 downloads in just like 2 or 3 weeks of releasing that ebook. So now why, you may ask? The difference between these two is that in the WhatsApp where I am having over 200 views, what I have are my audience, but they are not my target audience. So they view my status, but they are not particularly interested in what I do. But in the other WhatsApp, I have my target audience. People who have shown interest in my business, who have participated in what I am doing, and who were led to my status deliberately. So this is the difference between your audience and your target audience. Your audience may be seeing what you are doing, but they might not really be interested in it. They might just like your post for liking sake and move on. But your target audience are those particular people that need what you are offering. These are your target audience. So as a budding digital entrepreneur, one thing you have to constantly look out for is reaching out to your target audience. It is one thing to have a large audience, but it is a totally different ballgame to have audience that are interested in what you do. So as you build your audience and generate leads to your products and services, look out for your target audience. Be on the lookout. Do things that is going to make them come to you. Offer, if it is a free course, a free ebook, a free class, or something, or a webinar that is going to make your target audience come to you. So now we are looking at, how do I reach my target audience? The first thing to do about reaching out to target audience is that you have to identify who this audience are. So imagine with me for a second that this picture here is your ideal audience. Now you have to start asking yourself certain questions about this person here. So what is the gender of your ideal audience? Take note that some products or services do not appeal to both genders. Let's say, for instance, you are into health talk. There's a doctor I know on Facebook who is a pediatrician, and most of his audience are females. Not because men don't take care of their children, but because women are more involved in child raising. Okay, so in that aspect now, most of his target audience would be women who are bringing their children to the hospital, would be women that are about to give birth, okay, antenatal women, postnatal women, and all of that. Let's say you are into digital course creation and all of that. Your ideal audience could be both male and female, okay? Then next we have, what is the age range of your audience? What are the age range? Okay, for somebody, let's say that doctor, for example, that's a pediatrician, he would not be targeting 12 years old girls as his audience or 70 years old women as his audience. No. His audience will be women that are of childbearing age, women that are still raising toddlers. So what is their interest and preference? You also need to sit down and what would interest my audience? So I have to sit down and think, would growing social media visibility interest my audience before I started creating the course? If your audience will not be interested in it, then there is no need to make it. And then you also need to find out, who are they currently following? Who is your audience following on social media? These are some things to look out for. Okay, let's say you are a doctor and you want to start building a social media presence, or you are a nurse. Now, most people online follows Aproko Doctor. So you need to know that people that follow Aproko Doctor are important in learning about health. So what do? You know that Aproko Doctor have your audience, and then you start interacting with what that doctor to be able to what attract your audience. So you take this and apply it to different niche. Let's say you want to be a digital marketer. Who are top digital marketer in this country? You have people like Tonyo Motosho, Frank, what is it called? Coach Joshua Ine and all of that. You look at them and you see what you can learn from them. So you also think, what social media platform can this person be found? So it's very important for you to know your platform where your target audience can be found. These days, like one thing I've noticed, most internet marketers use Twitter a lot. People that are into selling of clothes, bags, shoes, and all of that, they are more on Instagram. So these are things that you need to look out for. People that are into professional jobs and all of that, you find them more on LinkedIn. While Facebook is like the general meeting spot for everybody. You can't find any kind of audience on Facebook. So you have to think of that platform where you are going to find your particular kind of audience. And then after thinking about that, you also need to look out for what kind of content would resonate best with this audience. Then after doing that, the next thing you need to do is to start creating content that appeal to that your target audience. So if you answer all the question about your audience in number one, then that means in number two, your goal should be using their interest, start creating content that would attract this your audience. So at the beginning of building your social media presence, the people you connect with may not be your ideal audience, but your content has the capacity to attract your ideal audience. Not just that, but also to convert the unideal audience to an ideal audience. So even if the person is not your ideal audience, as you keep on posting content about a particular thing, some people will become curious. What is he talking about? And with that, they will now start becoming your ideal audience. So that is what content creation does for you. Apart from just attracting your ideal audience, it can also convert the unideal, if there's any word like that, to an ideal audience. Then finally, one way to attract your target audience is to collaborate with influencers. Not just any influencers that have your target audience. So find influencers who appeal to your target audience and collaborate with them to reach their followers. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be the big names in your niche, okay? Unless, of course, you have grown enough that you can afford them. But if you're just starting out, it doesn't necessarily have to be the biggest influencers in your niche. It can be your colleague, those that are few years ahead of you. You can collaborate with them, okay? So you can collaborate with them to reach their own audience. So that is that about this video. So see you in the next one. Remember, don't relent. Okay, don't start watching the video and you stop halfway. No, don't relent. Keep moving. You will reach the end and then you will achieve the aim of paying for this video course. See you in our next video.